No, I think you're absolutely right, and I think that they've done a great job in getting to this point with only 2 losses. But I think it's been, Boeheim's been under, increased scrutiny the last couple of weeks, and now you throw in the drug deal with the NCAA and positive testing and things like that, So, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they got knocked out. And you've seen some things within that team, too, chemistry-wise, where there's been a little infighting. You saw Fab Melo and, I can't remember the kid's name, that came off the bench, that comes off the bench. He's one of their best players off the bench. But, they kind of got into it a little bit there during the game the other day. And so, when there's that much pressure on you, you got to remember these are, 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, and they vibe off their coach. Now, Boeheim's done a great job of managing it, but I think at some point everybody has a breaking point, and the kids will notice it if the coaches are falling apart a little bit. So, like I said, that I would agree with you. That wouldn't be a team. I wouldn't be surprised if they were out early.
All right, and finally, before we let you run, the overall winner of this bad boy, who's gonna take it home?
I really think that this is the year for Calipari. I think that he's got a team that plays. They've got a great balance inside outside. They're an unbelievably defensive team. With the length that they have on the inside, they got 4 or 5 guys that can completely take over the game. And so I think this is a year for Kentucky. I really see a rematch, depending on how the brackets come out. If there's a rematch between North Carolina and Kentucky, I think that would be one where it would be tremendous because, Kentucky got them early in the year this year on a last-second shot, and they got Anthony Davis got a block on Henson to secure that game. So I think that it's Kentucky's year to win it. But I like North Carolina as well. I think the top seeds this year are really going to hold true to form and make it deep into the tournament. You're going to see a fantastic matchup in the championship game.
All right, Senor, we appreciate your time and look forward to having you on more often. And maybe when you're back down with the Versus Network, we'll get to chat a little bit more.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
We appreciate it so much. Kenyon Murray joining us here in the Huddle on 840 Fox Sports Radio. I was on the precipice. I was going to ask, okay, so we've got Calipari winning it all, but who's going to go further, Duke or UNC? And I think I heard the heart just kind of, there was a crack. It was a break, right? Did you hear that, Miller?
Well, with my jubilation and smile, I did. I noticed Jake.
I thought there was a Mardi Gras parade going on in your booth.
And look at Mr. Barry silent because last Saturday we talked about the big ACC championship game, and who ended up winning that one?
I haven't watched it.
You didn't watch it? Yeah, I believe it was Carolina by 18.
Is that T-vote? Is that something?
I really didn't know that they were playing. And
when Austin Rivers hit that game winner, he would not stop texting me and calling me and putting stuff on my Facebook. So I did the same thing after an 18-point blowout. It wasn't
not a last
second Hail Mary shot from 3.
Right.
It was an 18-point, Donnybrook. And he wouldn't even answer anything. I hit all his social media networks.
Are you one of those guys?
He is.
I didn't know.
He was talking, but you can't take it. He was ducking and running the whole time.
Something was wrong with my network. I am actually a little mad right now that he did the North Carolina thing, but then also Calipari, who I think is probably one of the worst coaches, great recruiter, but like when it comes down to crunch time,
you mean he's like slimy or like he's
I think he's dirty. Everywhere he goes. They have violations.
Yeah. Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. It's only cheating if you get caught. I think that's the mentality, right? So, there you go.
Yeah.
He's never officially been caught because he's never really been caught.
He moves to the next. Yeah. He goes on and on.
Goes on to the next program.
Exactly right.
Let's shuffle our way over here. So, I don't know. I like the breakdown. I like the Syracuse. They started off the season with that undefeated streak. Then those allegations against Bernie Fine came out. They've managed to stay on track. Now you get that scandal that's breaking now with the drugs and the infighting. And if they were to lose first round, I can see Jim Boeheim just going, it's over.
Yeah, well, they got blown out by Cincinnati last night in the Big East tournament.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's already starting. And like he said, there was a couple of little fights going on. Like, I think it was like round 1 of the Big East tournament with infighting between the Q's players and stuff. Yeah, it's starting now. And like you mentioned, the pressure of it now is different than the regular season, for sure.
The regular season was just something that, well, but, once March Madness comes around, then the pressure becomes that much heavier. And the cracks are starting to show. So if they were to be eliminated first round, I wouldn't be surprised. It would not shock.
Well, I don't know first round because it's never happened first and 16, but second round.
Never know. This might be the year.
Yeah.
All right.
It could be.
We're going to take a timeout. We're going to pause for commerce. When we come back, Sherryland Rattler football coach Ron Adame, the new guy, going to step in and join us here in the huddle on 840 Fox Sports Radio.
Breaking news. Local McDonald's have been reporting mysterious disappearances of their soda fountain machines. In their place, someone is leaving a single dollar bill. Where